Right. Here we go. All right. We are live. LinkedIn audio today. We're switching it up. We usually do video podcast every Tuesday, Thursday, but we are currently internationally traveling. I'm in Brazil for the next week and a half. So we're going to do a LinkedIn audio event, switch it up on you. Excited that you're coming in to join the chat here. We're going to go about 20 to 25 minutes today. I got a ton of content for you on this topic of nurturing prospects for effective techniques excuse me, let's start that over again. We're talking about nurturing prospects, effective techniques for relationship building. And you're going to get some great takeaways from this today, is my intention and hope. And I'd love to get your thoughts and questions too. So as you're listening to this today, if you have any feedback, any messages, any questions on what we're going to cover, I certainly want to hear from you. But with that in mind, we'll mention this and then we'll get going. If you at any point love what you're hearing today and you'd like a free consultation on your marketing and sales development for your business, on how you can be set up, know you're set up for maximizing lead and revenue coming into your company, message me privately. Happy to talk to you about a free consultation to take a look and see what you got. So today, I'm going to share with you some stats on this topic. I'm going to share with you some personal experiences that I've seen over 20 plus years in B2B selling on this topic. I'm going to ask some questions to you today, actually. So I hope you bring me some questions, but I have some questions actually prepared for you that I want you to think about and ask yourselves about your own business right now. So this is going to be a two-way street. I'm going to challenge you to make an action item from this talk today so that you can implement some good pieces of advice, good ideas from this right away into your business so that this talk was worth your time investment today. All right? Does that sound good? So here we go. We're talking about lead nurturing and effective strategies for building relationships. I want to throw down some quick stats to kind of lay the landscape here of what's going on in business right now. So here's some stats for y'all. Nurture leads. All right, we got a couple great sources that are going to be featured today. This is coming from salesmate.io. So thank you, Salesmate, for some really cool research that you're sharing out. So here we go. Nurture leads tend to make 47% larger purchases than leads that are not nurtured. Nurture leads will make you 47% more in deal size on average than leads that are not nurtured. All right. This is why this is important today. 80% of new leads never convert into sales due to the lack of lead nurturing. So that sounds like a lot, right? 80% of new leads never convert into sales, but just think about that. That means that you do close 20%. 20% close rate is actually not that bad. It's actually decent. You want to be around 20 to 30% close rate on average. If you're higher than that, great, actually, really good. But it might mean you're underpricing what you could be pricing yourself at to make more margin. So, but if you're under 20%, then there's some areas of that can be addressed to help you improve your close rate. But 80% of the new leads never ever convert. Okay, so just realize that. Okay, not every lead you get is going to convert. Nurtured leads have a 23% shorter sales cycle. Okay, makes sense, right? Obviously, if you're nurturing your leads properly, they should close faster, theoretically, right? That seems to make sense. So there's some quick stats for you guys on lead nurturing. I got a bunch more, but this is something that I saw in the research today that was like, really? Is this really accurate? Apparently, according to salesmate.io, there's only 5% of marketers and companies right now are using automation for marketing and sales. Only 5%. Now, I'm mentioning that because what I'm about to say is like the biggest stat that I found today that I wanted to share with y'all. Only 5% use automation. But if you do use automation, companies that are doing it have experienced a 451% increase in qualified leads. That stat is crazy, right? So let's get into this. There's really three things we're going to cover, guys, in today's talk. And I got some questions on each of these points for y'all that I want you to write down, answer for yourself. It's going to be it's a really good exercise for y'all to take yourself through. So, three key things on lead nurturing, all right? Number one, personalization and customization. Personalization and customization. Effective prospect nurturing involves personalizing your interactions to meet the unique needs and preferences of each prospect. Taking the time to understand their pain points, interests, and challenges, and tailor your communication and content accordingly. By providing personalized experiences, you build stronger connections and trust with your prospects, enhancing the relationship building process. So we're talking about how to build more effective relationships in your lead nurture, right? This is where the rubber meets the road. Personalization and customization have to be a part of your marketing strategy if you want to improve this piece of your business. Okay, so my question for you, and I'm going to share some insights in a second from what we've seen, but my question for you, the first question I have today, number one, is how many times in the last week have you seen impersonal marketing to your inbox or social media? How many times have you received impersonal, not personal, marketing to you? And how did that make you feel? Right? How did that make you feel? For me, I get it all the time, every day. I'm sure you do too. I actually just got an impersonalized marketing message 2 minutes before this podcast today, and it went to my Facebook Messenger, and it was just I had to laugh. I actually sent, not to be mean, but like I just laughed. I sent them a laugh emoji because it was just comical that people are thinking or being taught that this strategy is actually good. This guy connected with me, friend requested me, I accepted it. He said, "Hey, James, great connecting with you. How are you doing today?" I'm like, "Hey, person, I'm doing great. Can't complain. It's a great day." It is a great day. I am in Brazil and I am very happy where I'm at right now. It is beautiful here. So I am not complaining. So I say that, right? The next thing this person says is, "Good to know that, James." And then he copies and pastes like this massive block of pitch fest text in the DM and asks me if I want to book a call. I'm like, dude, nope, definitely don't want to book a call. So like you can't spam pitch in a massive block of text, cold leads, and expect a lot to come from that. It just doesn't work. I mean, if you just think about it, it doesn't work. Do you want to be sold to that way? Probably not, right? That's why I asked you, how does it make you feel? How did it make me feel in this situation? I laughed because it's so embarrassingly bad. I would never, ever buy from someone that marketed like that, right? So the reason why I share that is let's flip the script, right? When's the last time someone sent you a personalized marketing message? When's the last time? Has it been recently? Like a day, a week, a month? Chances are, I would bet you that you haven't gotten that many in the last month or so. Not that many, if at all. Not that many. But if you did, I'd love for you to share what it was or what was personalized about it. And then more importantly, how did that make you feel as a prospect, right? How did it make you feel? And if something comes to mind as I'm asking these questions about like what's the most personalized marketing message you've ever received that you loved? There's some things that we need to pay attention to there, guys, that we need to really, really look at. Because when we think about marketing our companies, how do we want our prospects to feel about us? It seems like a no-brainer. We all would, I'm sure we're saying right now, oh, we want our prospects to feel great about us. Good. But do you? Does your marketing do that? Or does it not do that? Something to think about. right? Number 2 topic today, consistent and value-driven communication. Consistent and value-driven communication. Regular and consistent communication is key to nurturing prospects effectively. And on this point, providing valuable and relevant content through various channels, such as emails, webinars, newsletters, social media, is vital. Focusing on delivering insights, tips, solutions that address your prospects' needs and positioning yourself as a valuable resource and thought leader in your industry is essential for this, right? So how do you want to build more effective relationships in your prospecting? This piece is very, very important. You got to be consistent, and even more than that, you got to drive value. You hear that maybe all the time, like, oh, drive value, drive value. No, but for real, like, what can you tell me as a prospect about something that would help me today, right? If I'm the prospect and you're the seller, you're marketing to me. One, do you know my business? Can you show me that you know my business? Can you show me that you understand my industry and the challenges and the pains that I'm going through? I didn't go down this rabbit hole, but I can tell you from feedback I've received and personal experience, odds are, it doesn't matter what business you're in, that time and energy are at an all-time unavailable low for you, right? As a buyer, you are not available. You are busy. You are swamped in your business, your family life, other things. Very difficult to get your attention, right? So even more importantly, how can we then market our businesses that can drive value, help the buyer, and not be some stupid gimmicky tactic that we all cringe when we see it, right? Like, what are we doing in our businesses with that? So when we think about providing value-driven communication, I want you to break this into 2 pieces. Think about first, what channel are we talking about? Channel meaning delivery, like where's the content going? Is it coming through social media? Is it coming through email? Is it coming through webinar, LinkedIn Live audio? Hey. And so we got channel, and then we got what's the actual content itself? You know, what are we actually putting out there? What are we addressing? And when you start to break that stuff down logically, we're putting together a content strategy, guys, that makes sense. So here's some stats for you that might help your decision making on what is a good content strategy for you. The first and most effective lead nurturing channel, according to a couple sources I got for you, and I looked around, we got Forbes, we got HighSpot, we got a bunch of different places we're pulling data from today. Most effective channel for B2B, email. 78% of marketers prefer email as their #1 channel for nurturing leads. That's direct and professional way to build strong connections with your audience. Potentially. I know you're like, I don't know about that. Well, because you probably get a lot of bad emails, right? We all do. But look at the good emails. I would challenge you as the marketer of your business, look at your inbox and just, maybe one action item that you could take from this. Look at your inbox for the next couple days and just grab any good email you think is good and just grab it, save it, print it out, and ask yourself why. Like, what made you open that email? What was the subject line? And then what was the content inside of it that you thought was good? Maybe it was the way it was structured, the format, the topic, all the above, but just take mental note of what you liked about it. Remember, the first thing I asked you in this podcast today was, how does the marketing make you feel? Really important, right? Because we want to come at this making our prospects feel good. We want to give them value. We want to maybe challenge them. We want to help them think about a problem to be solved in a different way. Like we want to be a source of value, right? So 78% of marketers prefer email. Now, in terms of style of content, the way you deliver it. Stats here from salesmate.io, white papers are 83% effective. They are the number one most effective style of content to put out there as a white paper for a lead nurturing. 63% number two is webinars. 63% number two is webinars. I thought that was interesting. And I would love your perspective on this, guys. If you're trying this stuff out in your business, over time, white papers have a lot of data to suggest that that's true. I'm curious though, in your experience, because one of my questions as we progress into more digital marketing and more AI and all this stuff, I'm wondering how much success have you all had with a video sales letter, a VSL, in your lead nurturing? I'm curious to see how you've done with that, because I would potentially put that up here in the top 2 to 3 as well. I personally like to watch a video and listen to the how, the system, the why, like what about this solution is good and interesting and seems effective. I like to learn about stuff. I'm curious. So white papers, as we looked at what's the benefits of a white paper over maybe a video sales letter or some kind of visual, white papers are static. Hard to hear tone of voice necessarily in the white paper, versus right now you're hearing my voice, and maybe, in other broadcasts you've seen me visually, but you don't have any of that. This is a static paper, you're reading it, and you can digest that content at your own speed. Video, you have to kind of watch it when you're watching it. You may not get through the whole video. There's a lot of strategy actually that goes into a video to make it effective for when someone watches it. So there's strategy in any really piece of content you make on how to make it effective and readable and actionable and convertible, right? There's strategy, but thought you guys should know if those are the stats that are out there. So my second question for you is, what's your current channel or channels and content strategy for lead nurturing? What is it? What is your current channel and content strategy? That's number 2. Maybe you have one, maybe you don't. But if you don't, I hope these tips right now that we're going through are going to help you think about what is a good channel and content strategy that you should consider. So that's the goal of this, right? So number 3, final point, is listen and respond, right? How do we build more effective relationships? We listen. You want to be interesting. I know you've heard this before. You want to be interesting, be interested first, right? Be interested. Show interest, show research, show that you've done something to say, listen, I have honestly taken a look at your company. I've studied it for anything that I can see online, read some of your things, read some of your thought leadership, have some questions and have some thoughts. And maybe there still isn't anything applicable of relevance for me to help you or work with you. That might be true. But based on what I've seen, I have some thoughts for you and some questions. Would you be open to hearing what that is? Being interested. I fully welcome it. I would love for someone to market to me like that. I almost never get it, but I would love it, because it's really rare, right, to see someone market to you these days that actually has done some research or can show that they actually in some shape or form care, right? And that would make you feel differently. So listening, it's really important. Active listening to your market's feedback, to concerns they have, questions they have. Showing genuine interest in their needs is important, right? Demonstrating that you understand and care is huge. It is huge. Do you know how many people I talk to, that I'm sure you talk to as well, that are, let's try to use some words, some adjectives here, that are frustrated, they're annoyed, they're skeptical, they're impatient, they're burned out about people that have marketed to them, people that have tried to sell them on stuff, people that have tried to say they could help, but they didn't help, right? Your buyer is smart, they're talented, they've done their research, and they need to be treated properly. They need to be shown that you care about their business. If you want their business, you need to show that you care. So my question for you on that piece, I'm listening and responding, is how right now in your business, how are you getting market feedback for your business to improve your marketing? Meaning, are you getting any feedback on your current channel and content strategy? That'd be really good, right? How are you getting any feedback? Have you asked for feedback? Data will never go away is the oil for running the business. You got to have data coming in that's good, that's measurable, that helps you understand what's happening with the things that you care about measuring in your business. Got to get data. And market feedback data, to me, my opinion, is the best data you can get, because the market that you want to sell to, they're telling you stuff about your product or service and your brand and your marketing. Man, we talk about this all the time at Ascend. It's one of the favorite things we say and talk about every day at Ascend. We want to be fascinated, not frustrated. Be fascinated with everything that we do in business. I want to be fascinated with our clients about getting them their outcomes. I want to be fascinated about what they do and why they do it, and what their solutions are and how they deliver it. I want to be fascinated about why they do what they do and the way they do it. I want to be fascinated about how to be the best that we can for marketing and selling what we do. I want to be fascinated about developing my team and making them great, not frustrated. It's like the more fascinated we can be and take the emotion out of the ego and all that stuff, taking the emotion out of this and just listen, so that we can improve and take something and improve upon it. Then if we do that tomorrow, we are going to be better for it. Yes or no, right? 100% yes, we will be better for it. People are telling us how to improve. We got to listen. So how do you develop and be more effective with relationship building and lead nurturing? You do these three things, guys. You listen and respond. You put out consistent and value-driven, content, and you personalize and customize your approach. So sounds like a lot of work, right? It is a lot of work up front. If putting together a good strategy is not easy if you do it right. If you do it right, it's not easy. It needs to be well thought out. It needs to be researched. You need to give yourself some time as well. One of the biggest mistakes I've seen over and over again with people that run their companies, sales leaders, marketers, is they get impatient for results too fast. You got to give yourself a few months, guys, with your strategy. You can't decide on a strategy today, take action on it right now, and give up on it next week. It's not going to teach you that much about your business. You got to give yourself some time. And so when you put together a strategy, really strongly consider making it quarterly. Make it every 3 months. What are the top 3 to 5 things that you're executing on, that you want to see outcomes on, that you're measuring on in your marketing, in your sales? And that's if you do that way, you will learn so much about your business. And if you do that for a whole year, think about that. If you do 3 to 5 key things, key thrusts, key focal points that you want to improve on in your marketing and your sales every quarter, now you get 12 to 20 things you've improved on in a year, and you've measured it, you've tested it. You are a smarter operator in your business. You are a better marketer and salesperson to your market, probably a much better service provider as well to your clients, because you're learning and you're listening and you're implementing. That is literally the best thing you could do for your business right now, all the time. Never ever stop that. So be fascinated with that. So thanks for tuning in today, guys. That was about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Again, if you love today, if you love this conversation, if you took value from it and you want some feedback, free consultation. If you want me to look at your marketing, your sales strategies for your current business and seeing if there's ways to improve or optimize it to get more leads, more sales, private message me. Let's discuss. Happy to help out. And follow me if this is your first time listening. We do usually video podcasts every Tuesday, Thursday. We're traveling right now, so we're going to do probably more LinkedIn audio podcasts for the next week or so. We'll be back in August on the video side. So subscribe, follow me, hit me up a message if you want to talk, and have a great rest of your day.